What up, y'all? Izm TV, Izm Sports. It's your boy Hakim Green. You know how we do each and every week, giving you the best in sports talk. What up, Cliff?
Hakim, what's good?
Episode 96. That's what's good, bro.
Yes.
We just doing our thug fizzle. What up, Wes?
What's good, fellas?
What up, Wes?
Cool, man.
What's going on?
Episode 96.
Y'all hear me?
That's what's going on. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if y'all could be able to hear me, but
we actually hear you pretty swell.
Good.
Episode 96, bro. That's what's happening. Uh-oh. Where's the brother at? Well, Cliff, just to put you on board, I got a lot to smile about these days.
Oh, yeah?
I got a lot to smile about. And
start spreading the news.
I'm going to see your boy Hakim Green smiling a lot more on the show because
got the teethus fix.
Got my chiclet. You know what I mean? Not looking like a domino in the front grill, Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty excited about my new chapter in life with a good grill, Plus, I know.
Well, it wasn't like you all busted up anyway. So I mean,
but I had that little frame, that little. I was eating chives all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, what's on your tooth, boy? You go brush your teeth, son. It's crazy. But yeah, man, episode 96, bro. It's a lot going on in the world of sports entertainment.
Yeah, it is.
A lot's going on, man. I can't call it, bro. It's like your man Kyrie is Lord.
We got LeBron. We got the Super Bowl. We got,
Yeah.
It's a big week.
We got a big week. So, you know what we do? I'm setting it up right now, putting the song on deck so we can get this. We can get the liking, sharing, subscribing, letting the folks know we in the building. Let's get it together. Hakeem, get it together. Oh shit, I messed up. Wes is on the road. He's heading home, so I guess he'll plug back in once he gets to the house. And he hit me as well. He's doing some things, but he's gonna hop in pretty soon.
All right.
Yeah. So with that said, let's get the going on.
Yeah. 24 hours of peace, love, unity, safely having fun. Real hip hop for the people. It's an engagement. It's a demonstration. Using hip hop culture to get you activated. Let the people hear the bass and the vibration, the love, peace, unity, and watch them add on. It's a culture. It's not just rapping. It's not what we do. It's how we do it. We're doing it right here, Springfield Avenue, between Bergen and Plum. 24 hours straight, man. It's crazy.
We the people. The people of the culture.
Yeah, Ron Lawrence. Fire.
The hip hop culture.
Yo, we love rap.
Yes,
Love
we do.
it. Yeah, we do. But it's really about the culture.
Yeah, let them know how.
The culture.
Yeah. What up, man?
You know a hard head makes a soft behind. If I only knew my schoolwork like I knew them rhymes. Mom upside my head, I'm trying to memorize every line. High power rap breaks, super rhymes. Deep into the culture, didn't even know it. Young entrepreneurs spitting bars like a poet in a rush to be mature behind bars when we blow it. In the bold ass rappers too immature to outgrow it. It was more than just music, something next to breathing. I get giddy like a baby trying to spit while I'm feeding. The mic I be squeezing, dropping facts like I'm teaching. Leaking flows for the perfect beat seeking. Mama used to say, take your time, young man. But I'm trying to feel a light so you can see when I tan. I'm like one I never ran, I'm a fan but never stand. Just take it backwards to the east, X and out the clan.
Holy is it great, having omnipresent.
no one stops to think about the people.
Wholly integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stops to think about the people.
Pueblo Unido, grassroots Steve Biko. Rule number one, never forget the people. I live that, I get back. Heart all in it, no gimmicks, straight facts. From the start, I'm the light from the dark. Born from black art. Knew my part. Daddy gave me, mama made me, North raised me, hip hop saved me. For the culture now, for the black and brown, Harriet Underground, sun up to sundown. Till my people get out, north to down south, spread like word of mouth. While you cowards is hooded, we battle the bullet. Black lives to the fullest. Out here to the end, stronger together, that's the day we win.
Wholly integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stops to think about the people.
Wholly integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
Yeah. But no one stops to think about the people.
The legends before me are ones I want to get it like, but hitting quick hit different when hitting right. Mob ties, this thing of ours is birthrights. Who's next for the culture and them searchlights? Do it to it, this music, I'm trying to talk through it. Every plan on my own, I watch the lie do it. Airborne to Skiki, like a Wendell Pruitt. Trumpets blow, this song's here, melodic ruins. Think for it before they have to think for 'em. Boom bap, I talk that and live enormous. Informers when present in your boy performing, especially when them drums snap by Ryan Lawrence. Do it all, that poet talker, the line crosser. Many hawk and I speak by your flying saucers. Make it worth it, I can't take no feeble offers. Signed, sealed, and delivered, and you know the offer.
Wholly integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stops to think about the people.
Wholly integrated, having omnipresent, we are. Here are the people.
Yeah, that was real hip hop for the people by your man Hakim Green, featuring Woodall Kelly, Yuri Baraka Jr., Lovely Simone, produced by Ron Lawrence, video directed by Ron Davis, right there in the place of New Jersey, during 24 hours. Real hip hop for the people. OG, you hear the turnpike loud and clear, bro.
What's up, man?
Where you at? Kennedy Boulevard, where you at?
I'm on 78, man, making my way back to Jersey City.
All right, I got you. Man, it's episode 96, and there's so much to talk about. Let's start with this week's Super Bowl matchup, gentlemen. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We know, Pat Mahomes, my homeboy, got hurt in the matchup a few weeks ago, but shrugged it off like it wasn't nothing and put it on the Cincinnati Bengals right fast for 320 yards. Got 2 weeks to rest before he catch up to these Eagles, who has a very stout defense, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Eagles defense is kind of nice, but Kansas City offense is pretty good. Everybody's going Jalen Hurts versus Pat Mahomes. I really know it's Pat Mahomes versus the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts versus the Kansas City defense. And in that sense, guys, who do you think has the advantage?
Well, I think it's Mahomes. When the ball is in Mahomes' hand, he has to have the advantage. That's the way I look at it. Now, Philadelphia's defense, the best part of their defense is the pressure that they put on the quarterback. Obviously, they led the league in sacks, but Kansas City was second. They are susceptible to the run. So I just think that Andy Reid is going to scheme for that. Pacheco is going to have a big game. I think Clyde Hilaire's coming back. Edwards-Hilaire's coming back this year. They actually reactivated him. And I think that's how they're going to win the game. And It's gonna. I think it's gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be competitive. But if Mahomes is involved, I'm putting my money on Mahomes. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, we know Mahomes is going to be a little bit healthier. He's had some time to heal up a little bit more, and he makes plays, you know. But I'm not counting Hurts off. If Hurts can connect with AJ Brown on a couple long balls, that could be a difference maker.
Yeah, and the ability for Jalen Hurts to use his legs.
Yeah,
he can pop off some quick runs that opens it up for AJ Brown. Now you gotta spend too much time focused on AJ Brown, and that's gonna leave you open for the long run.
Yeah, I think both teams got to utilize the ground game to open it up for their quarterbacks so they can be really effective.
Yeah, and I think both of them can. It may. I think it's going to come down to a last possession game, and you know whoever has the ball last, because Philly better try to bury him if they trying to walk out of here, because Mahomes, you know, you give him any time, and he's gonna, you know.
Yeah, you can't let Mahomes have the ball last. You can't do that.
Yeah. You know, I really appreciate how the way Andy Reid has schemed and Eric Bieniemy has schemed using Patrick Mahomes outside of the pocket, but being able to actually move the pocket with him. I don't know if you guys checked it out, but as he's rolling to the right, you'll see the whole offensive line shift. So it's like they plan to move the pocket, which makes it look like he's outside the pocket, but they're not really. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure other teams do the same thing, but they do it so well. You can literally see coordinated move of the offensive line along with Pat Mahomes. And I just think that's so fucking good. Yeah.
And you have to realize, because of, you know, his I guess his acumen, his IQ, he can do things like that, as far as like manipulate, calling different plays where you have to, you know, those type of schemes. I think that you're able to do because of his talents, and you know, for him to, you know, look like I so fast, I don't think that we can take that for granted. I think, you know, he's still playing a little bit injured. He's just masking it by his you know, unbelievable play, and doing things like shifting the line and moving the pocket is schemes, basically allowing him to take advantage of what he can do, you know, to cover up, you know, the fact that I think he's still a little bit hurt.
But to that point, Cliff, is real scary in the sense that, you know, he is still a little bit hurt, but in this last game, like, he literally won that game on his legs.
Yeah,
the Cincinnati defense to the edge on a gimp wheel, you know, a gimpy wheel. So it's like, if he could do that with 1 week's rest, what is his brother gonna be able to do with 2 weeks rest?
It was almost like he was rope-a-doping them all game,
Yeah.
and then when the moment of truth came, last play of the game, because if you saw that hustle, there was no limp in that hustle. He was motoring. You know what I'm saying? He was moving. Yeah. And so, you know, saved it for when he needed it.
So we all.
I mean, he saved it. You know, he saved it for the whole game. Didn't really use his legs the whole game. Stayed in the pocket, did everything from the pocket until he had to make that play. I mean, you know, I still say it was just Jordan-esque. You know, that's exactly what it was.
Speaking of which, I got something special for later on. We get to the NBA, we start talking basketball.
But you got balloons and fireworks for LeBron tonight?
Oh, I got balloons, fireworks. I got all types of party favors going on tonight. You know.
You think he's gonna do it tonight?
I don't know. I don't want to have that conversation quite yet, guys.
Okay.
Because I got something special. I'm gonna need y'all to ride with me. This is gonna be different. It's gonna be something different. You know, it's out of left field. It's gonna be something different. But I think that if you give it a chance, you'll appreciate the way we're gonna approach this conversation. It's gonna be hilarious. But let's stay with the NFL right now, right? We all in on KC. I got KC. Cliff, you got KC.
I'm going for the black quarterback.
Oh, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be happy either way. But if you ask me if I had to put money on it, I'm gonna roll with KC.
Because I'm torn. I mean, if Mahomes gets another one, you got to start talking about him as, in that conversation that he could be one of the greats.
He can catch Brady.
Well, that's the next. That's the next conversation I want to have with you guys after you give me your pick.
And Jalen Hurts, all that he's been through, I would be happy if he won it as well. So, and look, black manager, everything about him, I respect that he does. So, I'm just going for the black quarterback.
Your man, who was it? Mike Vick said that after talking to Jalen Hurts for that short amount of time, they did some special with Jalen Hurts, Donovan McNabb, and Vick. Yeah. Mike Vick said after talking to him, he wished he could do his whole career over. He'd approach it totally different.
Oh wow!
This is Mike Vick. Considering everything he went through, we know his the whole scandal, whatever. But for Mike Vick, who was a successful NFL quarterback, didn't reach his full potential, but we saw it. He said after talking to Jalen Hurts, he's been in the league now, 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He said he wished he could redo his whole career. He would have did it differently. He said he and Donovan McNabb came to that conclusion.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Well, in an organization like Philly, where all of them, they thrived and he's thriving, he's seeing the advantages of clearly see his missteps and things he could have taken advantage of.
And look, Philly's always been supporters of black quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And Philly's a tough place to play. Might be one of the toughest from a fan perspective, what you got to deal with. But they've been supportive of three really great. Jalen Hurts has some ways to go, but the other two were great quarterbacks.
But they probably were talking about not taking advantage of the opportunities that probably Jalen is probably because he's just a mature cat. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to squander the opportunity. He's going to take most advantage of it. He's going to always keep improving. And those guys, particularly Michael Vick, I'm sure was partying, hanging out, doing that type of thing back in that day. And you can tell Jalen Hurts ain't about that. He's about his business.
Well,
the coach's son.
Mike Vick admits that he didn't study as much as he should have.
Oh yeah,
he didn't take practice as seriously as he should have. Now I think with Donovan McNabb, it's just my assumption that it's not the approach to his game as much it is the politics that he had to play within. Totally different time period.
Yeah.
Philadelphia. You talking about the NFL? Was the 90s, or the 2000s? Late 90s. When did McNabb come in the league? 98, 99?
In the mid 90s.
Mid 90s.
Through late 90s.
Right. So
that was a different time, the way he navigated that. I mean, we can only imagine. We don't know the details, but we can only assume he really did his thing to navigate that. Because we didn't really hear any bad things about Donovan. He handled that Philadelphia market. He was really successful. There was no dust ups. So
he had some struggle with ownership, if I'm not mistaken. There was some points in his career where there was some.
Of course. I mean, black quarterback. I mean, they didn't want to give over control. That was the whole thing with and to this day, what it's all about now. Who's going to be the CEO? Who's going to be in charge? Who you hand the keys over to? But I'm talking about as far as how he handled it. You know what I'm saying? And you're probably talking about that was pre Laurie, right?
Yeah.
Who was before Laurie? Who owned it before Laurie?
I forgot.
That's a good question.
Google's your friend, man.
He said Google's your friend.
Yeah. So that's just an interesting. You know, we were saying, I don't know if you caught it, Wes, how the impact that Jalen Hurts has had on the Philadelphia Eagles as a whole made Mike Vick admit that looking at this young man, he wished he could do his whole career over. You know, we know Mike Vick had the dog scandal, that whole thing would happen. He lost 2.5, 3 years of his career to that. But just in terms of Jalen Hurts' approach, his work ethic, his study habits, his focus on being a better quarterback, Mike Vick just had to give it up. And he said he and Donovan McNabb shared the same opinion of Jalen Hurts, that, in reference to their own career, looking at him, they're inspired. They wish they could have done it over. They would have modeled the way he's doing in their own career.
I think there's some truth to that, but I think Donovan and Mike are how's the best word to use it for them? They're downplaying what they accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that Jalen Hurts is tremendous, right? Playing well, doing his thing. But I think some of it, and I'm not a big fan of Philadelphia, obviously being a Dallas fan, but I gotta give it up where credit's due. Coaching has something to do with it, and culture, right? So Sirianni has allowed Jalen Hurts to be Jalen Hurts, and he coaches the team according to Jalen Hurts' strengths. Whereas Donovan and Michael Vick had coaches that were against running quarterbacks, against being able to be elusive and always trying to preach, you got to stay in the pocket, got to stay in the pocket, got to stay in the pocket. And the bottom line is getting a W, right? So winning games. And I think Jalen Hurts, his coach, understands that at the end of the day, when you think about it, they got rid of Carson Wentz. And that was a hard choice for them, but it wasn't hard for him because he knew what he had. He coached them.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the troubles that some of the other previous black quarterbacks had was that the coaching didn't get it. Like Warren Moon, Jerry Glanville got it. He knew what Warren Moon's strengths were, and he got a bunch of guys that could catch the ball, and he ran that run and shoot like nobody's business, and Warren Moon was successful because Jerry Glanville understood his strengths. He didn't tell Warren Moon to go run, right? He told Warren Moon, hey, get in that pocket and get rid of this football, right? So he was another pioneer. I think Jim Harbaugh was the same way. Jim and John Harbaugh, Colin Kaepernick, and Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. You have to have coaches that kind of want to buy into who you are, right? Versus you trying to fit into their system. They've got to meet you halfway. And they've got to have the ability to figure out what you do well first, because that's an investment, right? So the quarterback is an investment position. So it's important that the coordinators and coaches understand the best skill sets that these guys have, whether they're black or white, and put them in the best position to be successful. Yeah. That's what it really all boils down to, I think.
That's good coaching, and that's and that's the difference. And these coaches that allow, like you said, Wes, them to be who they are. Because that's how you maximize your talents. You're not pigeonholing someone into your, offense or your coaching style. You're just letting them be who they are, and
you let them be. And when you let them be, they can be successful. Mm-hmm. When you focusing on somebody trying to keep showing people what they do wrong, they're not going to have success because you're trying to make them something that they're not. Instead of and they can do what you want them to do, but let them do what they do. Like, find out what they like first too. You gotta coaching with these guys is different. That's why I felt the same way about Trey Lance. And I think Shanahan's a great coach, but Shanahan's system is conducive to pocket passers. Like Purdy is a little bit more elusive than Garoppolo and Matt Ryan when you think about who he's had, right? But it's not really conducive to a guy that has more talent than that. And Trey Lance, to me, looked uncomfortable because he wasn't allowed to have his total arsenal on display at all times. Whereas I think that's the difference why he didn't look as successful as a Brock Purdy. And Purdy looked great because that system, it fits him. It fits his skill set. So that's it. And it's not a knock on Brock Purdy. I'm just saying that they're in the same team, and two rookie quarterbacks look so different, or two young quarterbacks look so different in the same system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why they draft Trey Lance?
Yeah, exactly. To be Trey Lance, but then you coach him to be something else because Shanahan wants his system to work.
Well, I mean, if as a coach, when you get hired by a team and you have a system that works, it's proven. That's why you got the job.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to change the system to meet one person.
Not completely, but you have to implement some type of structure where you can find out what that player that you invested in, something that he does really well to make him successful.
That's what they attempted to do at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, he got hurt.
But prior to him getting hurt, right?
Yeah,
they were doing what they were doing, and like you said, it's about wins and losses at the end of the day.
Yep.
And they weren't winning games, and like you said, for whatever the reason
they were 4-4.
Yeah, for whatever the reason was, he didn't look particularly
comfortable.
Right.
Well, the truth of the matter is we don't know nobody knows what Trey Lance is. I mean, there's just not enough tape on him.
Right.
I mean, there's not enough college tape on the cat yet. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
But it's all on potential.
But in moving forward, okay, so that he was the 49ers starting QB at the beginning of the year. He doesn't get hurt. He's the starting QB. We're not talking about Brock Purdy or Garoppolo, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets hurt. Garoppolo comes back in, does what he does. It was what he was. Garoppolo gets hurt. Brock Purdy comes in. He does what he does. Right. He does what he does. So now you look at the hand and you assess. It's like, okay, you go back to this person who's not comfortable in the system, who is not moving forward. You got to move forward. What you got?
I think you got to move forward.
Right.
I personally feel like Brock Purdy got to be the quarterback next year. If I'm Shanahan, Brock Purdy got to be the quarterback next year, just because he looked good in your system. It had nothing to do with anything else. Like you trade Trey Lance because you might be able to get some value for him, because he's a number 1 draft pick. Right. You trade him, but you make Purdy your quarterback because he fits your system perfectly.
And it's no knock on Trey Lance. It's just that we know this works like this.
Yeah, but while I agree with that, both of y'all, Purdy's hurt. And the timetable of when he gets healthy, Trey Lance
forgot about what's the UCL?
Yeah, so
you got to keep both of them right now.
Well, Trey Lance is gonna have he's inherited the job at least at the beginning of the season, unless he loses it in preseason, because Purdy's still going to be hurt. But they still may go veteran quarterback route anyway. I mean, I'm hearing Derek Carr or somebody like that. So we don't know. But but Trey Lance is going to have an opportunity before Purdy. Is what I'm saying. Just because Purdy's hurt.
And where the NFL is now, you need 2 quarterbacks.
Oh, at least
jokers are getting hurt left and right.
Oh yeah.
So,
they went down to what, 3, 4.
Yeah, I mean, look, we just
went down to the 4th one.
Yeah, we got to the 4th one.
Yeah, they got to the 4th one,
which was a pickup.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact that Donovan and Michael Vick are talking about Jalen Hurts and the way they're doing it. I think but you also, I think even though Philly had issues with Donovan, when we kind of look back, right? Philly had Donovan, Rodney Peete, Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
They had Vince Young. They had Michael Vick. They had who?
They like to
they go get the best player to play the position. They don't think about anything else. They get the best players to play it. So even before Laurie, they were putting people in those positions. Again, Buddy Ryan didn't know what the hell he was doing with Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham was out there just ad-libbing because, I mean, he just did what he did because he had nobody coaching him. That's pretty much what happened. So, and you look at, McNabb had some success under Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid obviously is showing you who he is as a coach for Mahomes. So, again, and then the thing I always tell people about McNabb is that McNabb never had talent. And the year you gave him Terrell Owens, he went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So that just goes to show you that it comes. You can't just win this game from the quarterback spot without help, right? So you gave the man some help, and you lose to New England Patriots 26-21. That was the final score, or something like that. Wasn't it a close game?
Yeah, and he was
It was
playing on
after the last
broken
drive,
leg.
right? Yeah, T.O. had a broken leg.
Give me the ball, and we gonna win this game. And he almost did it.
Yeah, the quarterback needs at least one receiver.
He needs a weapon.
Yeah,
he needs a weapon. You got to have a weapon. So, yeah, kudos to them. But I think, and Michael Vick has been super duper contrite, in the media's world because of his situation. But I think to a degree, some of it he don't even have to say some of this stuff because Michael Vick was a great player, man. Regardless what they say about him off the field, whatever happened, that man was a bad dude. Period. The end.
Next level.
Yep.
Period. The end.
For sure.
That's
So
it.
we started to show off, Wes. We all rooting for the quarter black.
Yeah.
So either way it go, we are very happy. But if you had to put money on it, if you had to pick one team, who you rocking with?
Man, it's tough, right? Because I think that both of them need to win for different reasons, right? We can't lose from the black quarterback perspective, but I think for Mahomes, I need to see separation between him and the other people, and he's not going to get it unless he wins, right? If he loses the Super Bowl, they're still going to compare Allen and Burrow to him. He's still going to be in that same conversation with those cats. Without MVPs, without Super Bowl appearances, Burrow got one appearance. But without the MVPs, they still going to be talking about those two dudes are with Pat Mahomes. He needs the Super Bowl, right? Jalen Hurts needs it because they don't believe in Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is for everybody else, right? For all the other black quarterbacks, including a Lamar Jackson. Because, again, now you get a guy like him that's more like Lamar Jackson than Mahomes, right? In terms of his play style, he's a better passer, but he also has better weapons. Yeah. Lamar don't have half the weapons that Jalen Hurts has. So, I think, but for everyone else's sake, Jalen Hurts winning it would be awesome. But for legacy's sake, and if we want to put Mahomes in another category, he got to win.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
Me too.
For the reasons that you just said, I want to see Mahomes separate himself. I want to see him get in that Tom Brady category. And just to this point, I think it's unfair to compare Pat Mahomes now to Tom Brady.
I do too.
A lot more to do. So I am no way right now comparing Pat Mahomes to Tom Brady. But I would like to see him get there.
Yeah, because of the situation, and because in his fifth year, it's like where it's almost like that tipping point. If he wins it, then now he's in that category. You can compare him, even though it's far away, 6 more. Well, he'd be 4 behind Brady, but he's in that category. But then if he loses it, then he becomes Aaron Rodgers. He's 1 out of 3, and then someone like Burrow, he come through, have a good year, wins MVP. All of a sudden, he's 1 of 2 with an MVP, and now it's the
But let me roll these dice for you, right? Jalen Hurts shows out, Eagles win. That's more black quarterbacks who've won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Another one. I get that too. That's the dynamic that people don't understand. Now you got another one, but I still think
a different
that
play style.
Even like when you take Burrow out, right? Take Burrow and take Allen out the equation. Even from an Aaron Rodgers and a Peyton Manning standpoint, this dude Mahomes has done more than both of them in 5 years, right? So that if he wins, we put him ahead of those dudes because the one thing I can say, they can have Peyton Manning all you want. Peyton Manning was not good under pressure. Let's just call it what it is. Like he was a stat guy. But I showed you that thing. Not to tell you that Dak was better than Peyton, but if their numbers was eerily the same for all that time, that's kind of shows you that even the greats that we judge the greats on, it takes time for them to win too, right? And Peyton Manning's numbers, compared to Mahomes' numbers in 5 years, it ain't even close.
Well, Peyton Manning is essentially Josh Allen when you look at
because height. The first 10 years or 8 years. And if you think about, remember, we with Dak, he can't beat the big time quarterbacks. Well, Peyton Manning didn't do that either. And he couldn't do it in college. Because as far as I remember, he went 4 years in Tennessee, couldn't beat Florida. Nope. And then T. Martin, who's not in the NFL, won a national championship the year after Peyton Manning graduated. And so it just goes to show you that everyone has that trait that may not be able to get it done. He beat Rex Grossman in the first Super Bowl. Let's not forget that. And that was on a pick 6 because he had a bad game himself. Threw for 211 in that game. Didn't have a great game. And I know everybody remembers that game. They had a kick return and a pick 6 in that game, Indianapolis. It was raining, and that was pretty much the scenario. The one in Denver when they beat Cam Newton, Denver's defense was sick. And who was on Carolina besides Cam Newton? Anybody know?
Steve Smith.
What was that?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith was on that team. Okay. Steve Smith. Okay. I mean, Steve Smith was a very good wide receiver. Yeah. He was a very good wide receiver.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's the one he won.
Yeah, they had.
Huh?
Yeah. So the Carolina didn't have much.
Nah, they did. And then you saw what Russell Wilson did to him.
Who was the tight end for Carolina? They had an ill tight end back then.
Oh, they had the kid on Fox. Olsen. Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. But it just goes to show you that, and Peyton Manning got 2 Super Bowl wins. Don't get me wrong, but his brother looked better getting his.
Yeah, because Peyton lost all those games to Brady. If Peyton was more of a clutch player and more of an adversary, Brady wouldn't have had he wouldn't have went to 10. He wouldn't have. So that's where it was. Like, yeah, Peyton was a great, regular season quarterback, the prototypical stat stuffer type of cat. But when it came down to it, it was Brady. It was Brady. Brady wouldn't have went to 10. If Peyton was
in college.
Yeah, Peyton always had weapons too.
Can I make a comparison? I'm just shooting out the dark, so if it sounds crazy, shut it down, no problem. Peyton Manning is to Tom Brady what Roger Staubach was to Terry Bradshaw.
That's interesting. But I don't think Staubach lost those games.
No, yeah, and
Jackson Smith dropped a pass. I mean, he had them beat. And
that changes the whole fate of the whole organization.
Yeah, that's 3-3 now, right? Instead of 2-4, it's 3-3. So I don't know if that's the case.
And they didn't go head to head as often.
Yeah, they didn't go. Yeah, they didn't play in the same.
It was always it wasn't to.
I mean,
get
not to the T, just to Peyton Manning.
But Bradshaw won 4 and Roger won 2. And everybody knows that it should have been 3-3. If he all got to do is catch the ball. Yeah. It's 3-3.
Yeah.
And the fourth one that Pittsburgh got, there was nobody and their mother that thought the Rams were going to beat the Cowboys that year. And Vince Ferragamo did it. Yeah. How about that name? Vince Ferragamo.
I didn't think I would ever hear that name again.
Vince Ferragamo. So, but no, I think it's a good topic to talk about. That was a good question.
Yeah. So, Pat Mahomes, we want to see Pat Mahomes, the Chiefs, win this for those reasons. I got it. Yeah. So what do you think about your boy Tom Brady retiring? Like, we had the show last week. We discussed it. And I was like, he's going to retire. I thought we'd find out about April, maybe late March, April.
Yeah.
Found out the very next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't believe it.
And he's taking a year off.
Yeah.
I was always on the fence kind of with it. I didn't know what to expect from him. But I wouldn't have been surprised either way for me. So him retiring, I'm kind of happy he's retiring because he's one of the few people that I do like. I wasn't a New England fan, but I actually did like him. Like, it was something, he just was big time. I'm sorry. Like, you give him the rock with a minute left. I mean, I feel comfortable,
Yeah,
he can make it happen.
He's that cat. But let me ask you this question: because he's taking that year off and not broadcasting do you think there's a possibility late in the year this cat says I'm coming back to try to draft? Okay.
Nah, and
I think he's over.
Unless somebody's desperate for
like in San Francisco's case this year,
bro.
It was there for him this year. He could have had that job this year.
Yeah,
they were gonna give it to him.
Going to be 46 years old.
Yeah, I know.
He just can't all that. I know he does the what's the TB12, all that. You know, he got the pliability, stretching, all that. Bro, your recovery from a hit, it takes a lot longer, bro. It's just getting off the ground is effort. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And I'm not even a basher. Like, you got a lot of people that were like just waiting like vultures for him to like look bad in that Tampa Bay Cowboy game. Yeah. Yo, man, even in that loss, man. I mean, they just weren't a good team, man. Period. Tampa Bay wasn't a good team.
Oh no,
they lost the game because they weren't a good team. Brady ain't changed nothing. He ain't changed nothing about. I mean, it's like when people say, "I told you about Brady." At 45, like, like
Brady's
right. You're gonna be right sooner or later.
He's doing. He can do nothing, and it's amazing. He's on the field. Like,
it's like he told me at 45. It's like you're finally right. That's why it's like same changes like it's sports. When people tell me about somebody that's doing something now after 20 seasons and they want to point it out, that's because we were right all this time. If you telling me that, like, Eddie, he made a free throw today. Oh, so y'all do realize he don't make free throws. Okay. It's so stupid. Like, leave it alone. Like, 20 years, you're gonna be right sooner or later. Come on. It's just dumb. But back to Brady, I'm glad he's leaving.
Yeah, man. For his sake. I'm not even on no diss. Just
well, y'all hear about Aaron Rodgers?
Well, nah.
Where's he going?
Well, he says he's going on a because obviously everybody's hitting him with the question, you're gonna retire, you're gonna stay with the Packers or whatever. He says he's going on a 4-day darkness retreat. I don't know if drugs are involved or whatever, but
what's involved.
Ayahuasca.
Yep.
But yeah, apparently he said he'll have more clarity after his retreat.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. He'll be clear as I don't know what.
You know what I'm saying? If he was a brother, he wouldn't have a job when he came back.
You going what?
What Trump? What are you going to do?
Facts.
Yo, the things he gets away with, man.
You're right about that.
I mean, come on, man.
You going where?
Yeah. You going to which retreat? They would actually have somebody there following, taking a picture of it, and put it out there for the media to see.
Exactly.
We're going to drug test him when he comes back.
Yep. He failed the drug test.
Yeah. What's going on? No.
It's just a little bit of medicinal fun. They changed the names for everything.
It's not illegal, so
no, it's not.
Wait a minute, it's something I wanted to talk about today.
You gotta love them, man. You gotta love them.
There's something sports related.
Y'all think it's gonna be a good game Sunday?
I think it's gonna be a great game.
I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be competitive. They both teams have something to play for. Now, social media is crazy. He wilding. Is it fixed? Like, can you trust it? Really? Is it the real?
But what outcome would people think it's fixed, or I guess how it would happen would have people wondering if it's fixed, I guess. But no, they evenly match, yo. They literally have the same amount of they have the same total record. It's 16-3. They have the same number of points. I think it's 546, and they have something else that's similar too. But they're evenly matched. It's gonna go right down to it. I think it's last possession game. It should be.
Wow.
I just think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a great halftime show. I think it's just going to be a great night.
Read.
Yep.
I was out to dinner Thursday with a client in New York, and they asked, who was I rooting for? Well, he said I was rooting for. I wanted to see a San Fran Cincinnati Super Bowl. I was like, oh, I said that's nice. And then I was like, I'm rooting for Philly and Kansas City, and I didn't say anything. I was like, I just kind of was like, just think it looks good. It's a good looking matchup. That's the word I use, a good looking matchup. But I think the funny part is that they freely speak. They know what they want. The same reason he wanted Cincinnati and San Fran is the same reason why I wanted Philly and Kansas City. That's it. That's just let's be real. That's it. But he's like, oh, I'm just tired of Mahomes. He's always in there. I'm like, were you tired of Brady?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Nah.
Nobody's tired of Brady. So I mean, come on. Let's just root for the two best teams because they were.
They were.
They were the best two teams in football. And then plus, I got to root for Kansas City. I got a little bit of Kansas City because of my boy Pacheco from the RU.
He played Rutgers?
Yeah, he did.
Rutgers. Pacheco went to RU. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So.
Yep. And I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna use him. I think
they gotta use him.
Yeah, because Philly's vulnerable to the run. And they're gonna whereas they're not gonna run Pat too much. I think they're gonna little short passes and little sweeps, and then like they said, they get Clyde back. It should be a good game. It should be back and forth. Hopefully no injuries or nothing crazy, but yeah, it should be a good one.
It should be. I'm excited about it. I also was able to partake in RU beating Michigan State while I was in town.
Oh, there you go. They got one tonight though. They got Indiana tonight.
Yeah, they should beat Indiana, but Indiana has a kid that I officiated against. I mean, I officiated for several years. Actually, like the kids. There's two kids on the SEC. No, the two guard. His name is Miller Kopp, number 12. He starts at two guard. Yeah, he played out here with the Kentucky point guard, Xavier Wheeler. That's from Kentucky. Went to Georgia, I think, for a year, and he transferred to Kentucky. They were teammates out here on a team in Houston. So had a lot of their games because they, from back in the day throughout their career. So I always like to see them do well on TV or just in general. But want Rutgers to win.
Rutgers having a good season.
Go Jers.
They having a good season, but watching the game up close, Rutgers' issue is they don't have anybody on their roster that can go get buckets.
That can just get a bucket, yeah.
They don't have that. This guy coaches them to play defense, which I applaud him, right? Yep. But they don't have a guy on the roster that could just go get a bucket, a bucket getter. And that's going to be I think that's the next phase of Rutgers basketball. You got to go get guys that can get buckets. Everybody can't just, you can have 4 guys on D and get that one guy to get you a bucket.
They got a kid coming in next year that is very much capable of doing that. And Harper was able to do that. He could get
which is why they were able to win on the road. This year they can't win on the road because
are they still going to get his brother? Aren't they supposed to get the brother?
Well, the brother is. I think he might be announcing Friday. Matter of fact.
Okay, because I know. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the person that they want.
Yeah, I don't see his brother. I don't see his brother going there simply because the other teams are Duke, Kansas, Indiana.
Yeah, it's a little different.
And not for nothing, the money is a little different.
Yeah, it's a lot different. A lot different. And even the NBA prospect that they have, Cliff Oriema or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's just athletic. He has zero talent in terms of he has no moves. He's just raw. Yeah. And he can't get you buckets. he's 9 points and an NBA prospect. I'm like, you only get you 9 points in college.
Hey, he's 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He can block shots.
Yeah, he can block some shots.
And
he can block some shots. But yeah,
that's all they need right now for him to. He might be a journeyman in the league.
He could. He can like be a guy that can travel around and be a piece somewhere, for a few years. But yeah, I was excited. They have an opportunity to finish in the top 4 in the Big Ten, where they get the double bye, right? So they get 2 byes in the Big Ten tournament, and it'll be nice to see. Yeah, and Rutgers in a Big Ten semifinal game would be awesome.
Well, with Purdue in that conference, that would be a feat.
yeah. So
I still think it's the most brutal conference there is in college basketball.
Like, what do you mean by brutal?
You just getting beat up every night.
Yeah. The
SEC
SEC is where it's at in sports right now.
Yeah, I mean, SEC is athletic, and
yeah,
they have a lot of talent, but the Big Ten, it's so physical. You're getting beat up every night.
Well, look at the Big East. Like your boy Patrick, he got 1 win in the Big East in 2 years.
Yeah, Pat not gonna have a job in a few weeks.
No, they were talking about Dawn Stanley was going to be interviewed for that job.
Really?
That'd be great.
For the Georgetown job?
Yeah. Yeah, Dawn Stanley was being considered for the Georgetown men's job.
She is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I wonder if she would leave South Carolina for it.
I thought they should have interviewed Dawn Stanley for the Sixers job.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So, since you guys are talking about college athletics, we saw that Bethune-Cookman saga play out a little bit more. I didn't know Reggie Theus was the president or the AD.
The
AD.
Yeah.
And they were given $75 million not too long ago.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess, some questions as to how that was being spent and what have you. Hold on.
Wardrobe.
Well, it must have went significantly in his pocket.
Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We all know how Reggie get down.
Yeah, Coach, we missed you last week, man. It was so sad that you had to sign off. A lot of times when you leave, the energy for the LBJ squad gets stronger. I can't hold them off by myself, Coach. I can't do it by myself.
Man. I want this dude to get the record tonight, and they trade his ass tomorrow.
Oh God, please just get it over with. Like, please. That's what I want too.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all went there. I'm glad you went there.
Get the record tonight and trade him in the morning.
Let's be done with it, please.
Hey,
Yeah, let it happen already.
He happened. I think West.
Who are you playing tonight? Oklahoma City, right?
Oh yeah, OKC.
I mean, if he can't get against OKC, I just got.
How many points is it? 37?
36.
You need 30. Yeah.
36. Oh, he's getting it tonight.
36 to top, 37 to pass.
Because he don't want to do it like he don't want to get 20 tonight and then get it on his 16th point. You know what I'm saying? LeBron want to drop 36. like this. That's a big game. You know what I'm saying? Like I had 36, I might have got it.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but they have all celebrations and all this stuff planned for stopping the game and presenting him and all that. As long as it's not like in overtime or a close game and all that. But they want it done tomorrow night because it'll be in Milwaukee against his former team and all that. So we'll see.
No, they should do it. I mean, they should celebrate it. No matter what happens, they got to celebrate it.
Want it to happen tonight in LA.
I want it to happen tonight because that gives us at least a 36, 48-hour trade window still open. let's get it over.
Yeah.
So listen.
They got to celebrate it. All the jokes aside, it's got to be celebrated, no doubt.
So I wanted to do something a little different, right? I need you guys to ride with me. I think that you're gonna get a really, really good laugh with this. But we'll see what's up. You guys ever hear of The Trial of the GOAT?
No.
You never heard of the Trial of the GOAT?
No.
You know who Ryan Davis is, right?
Who's Ryan Davis?
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
So they do this thing called these different trials, and they have the Trial of the GOAT. And I
Okay.
want to play some. It's hilarious, and they eventually get to an ending, and you vote who's the GOAT, LeBron or MJ. They go.
It's on. It was on All Def Digital or something, right? Yeah. I saw this.
Oh my God! Hold it. Rock with me for a second.
Davis. Thank you, Judge. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm here not to tell you why Michael Jordan isn't a great player. I think Michael Jordan is all-time great. Jump man. You know what I mean? Shoes. I got a ton of Jordans. Space Jam. I believe I can fly. Man, the Gatorade commercials. I think Jordan, every time I think Gatorade, man, I think the McDonald's commercials with Larry Bird playing horse. Incredible branding. None of that shit has anything to do with basketball, by the way. Today, we are arguing who's the greater basketball player? Nigga with the endorsements or the nigga with all the stats? I'm not going to get into LeBron James' philanthropy. We all know about the school. Michael Jordan gives back. Not really. But we don't want to talk about that. I want to keep it solely on the court. And maybe if people pay attention today, they will stop trying to be like Mike. Because who wants to be the second best of all time? The defense rests.
By the way, are you wearing Michael Jordans now?
No. These are Air Force Ones.
Got it.
The reason I don't wear LeBrons is because he makes an actual basketball shoe, and I don't hoop. So I dress for comfort. You know what I mean?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
There you go.
Mr. Tony Baker, opening statement, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, go. Everybody loves to say it now. It's the thing to say. Oh, that's the GOAT. You the GOAT. You can be the GOAT of anything. Pumping gas. You the GOAT on pump 5, man. You drive off and live your little life. It's overused. Everybody wants to be the GOAT at everything, but everybody's not great. Michael Jordan is. We all know this. Everybody that has come after Michael Jordan is trying to be Michael Jordan, including LeBron James. What's his jersey number? 23. Who had that jersey number? Jordan. Hey, let me be in Space Jam. Okay, let's see how it works out. We all know what happens to movies when they get recast. They bomb. Remember Home Alone 3? You don't! Because it wasn't Kevin. Remember House Party 4 with Immature? Bomb. Barbie. Where's Kid and Play? Yeah, you got the Looney Tunes pulling up, but where's Jordan? We don't want no soft cameo. Okay? Cameos don't always work. Look at Coming to America too. We're not gonna get into that. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time because he transcended the sport. Now, Brian Davis is gonna probably slaughter me up with stats, numbers, figures, all this gobbledygook of just numbers nobody cares about unless you get paid by the NBA or Sports Center. Who we talking about? Who do we say when we shooting trash in the trash can? Jordan. Don't nobody say LeBron. You want to say LeBron, but you got to dunk that trash in there, and everybody can't dunk. You don't want to tear your meniscus in a count's receiver trying to be LeBron. LeBron was built for the sport. Look at it. Look at his height. Look at his build. Look at his weight. He's destined for greatness. Jordan is tall, but you know he was getting manhandled out there. slung around in a different time. The 80s, on the basketball court, that was street life. That was the hood. That was the swap meet. The Pistons of the 1980s had brass knuckles, knives, nunchucks on the court. Jordan was still out there. But we're going to get into all of that. Okay? We all know what it is. If we want to talk about numbers, Jordan has them. As soon as he came in the game, he came in with numbers. He came in with numbers like the count on Sesame Street. I'm here to prove to you, without a shadow of a doubt, that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Tony Baker did not come to fuck around. Cancel Court will be right back.
All right. So, what I want to do is play clips every week from Cancel Court. And they're going to get into stats. They're going to get into comparisons. It's jokes, but they're going to pull out some really heavy points of comparison. I was like surprised, like, oh, wow, I didn't look at it that way. And I think they do a really good job in illustrating. You see the videos, the little extra stuff they got, supporting evidence and what have you. So we're going to get it over the next few weeks. And I think that'll help drive conversation because they're going to say things that I know Wes, E, you're going to be like, nah, and Cliff, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
But I think it's funny that the Kareem, right? Back to the Kareem, because when I always look at the NBA, unlike the other sports, we always talk about the best. When you talk about the best, the NBA is one, like for instance, the Hall of Fame is a compilation of your whole basketball career, right? And Kareem won 3 high school championships, won 3 years in college, and he won 6 NBA championships. And we're still having this conversation. So he won. I mean, Russell had more championships in the NBA, but Kareem, from a basketball novice position, he won it every single. And the only reason he didn't win 4 championships in college is because he couldn't play freshman.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't let freshmen play at UCLA. Okay. So that man won 12 times, and he won 3, 4, 3, 3, and 6.
Well,
it's like
to your point, I think I agree with you 1,000%, and I think it shows how much the NBA swallows up the conversation when we talk about basketball.
Yeah,
basketball is more than the NBA. I put up a post. Oh my God, what's the brother's name? He played in the 70s, and they said he was the nicest cat ever. Like he embarrassed everybody. Philadelphia offered him a contract that was just like way under. I think somebody else got more, some white guy.
Oh, Lamar Mundane?
No, it's not Lamar Mundane.
Lamar Mundane.
You talking? Oh, the 70s. The 70s.
Yeah, this dude.
Who in the 70s?
Hold on, I'm gonna find him right now.
Not Pee Wee Kirkland.
No, not Pee Wee Kirkland.
Right, the real GOAT, man GOAT.
No. Greatest basketball player ever, never played NBA. Raymond Lewis won his 3rd straight high school basketball state championship in California. He then committed to play college ball gave him a red Corvette and $2,000 a month. As a college freshman, he averaged 39 points a game. On the varsity team as a sophomore, he averaged 33 points a game, which was the 2nd most in the entire nation. This led him to being drafted 18th overall in 1973 NBA, drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers, making the youngest drafted player in NBA history. He was offered a 3-year, $190,000 contract, but he didn't think it was fair. At the 76ers rookie camp after the draft, the Collins' 1st overall pick was supposed to be the best player there, but Lewis dominated him and is reported that he scored 60 points on him in a single half of the scrimmage. It was supposedly so bad that they ended the scrimmage early, so people didn't think that Lewis was better. The Collins contract was $200,000 a year, which was 4 times as much as we were offering Lewis. They couldn't agree to a contract, so Raymond Lewis never played for the 76ers. And after that, no other team would sign him after this. He went on to dominate the summer leagues in Los Angeles. In 1983, he scored 56 points on Michael Cooper, the best defensive player on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Wow.
He also had another where he scored 81 points. Raymond Lewis is one of the greatest basketball players ever. Right. So,
wow.
You know, it's like there's a lot of these stories that if we knew more, it would, kind of open up our perspective as to the greatest. When you account for Kareem's entire career, like he's Mr. Basketball,
Oh yeah, yeah. He's to me, he's the epitome of basketball because he changed the game at every level. He won at every level, and then as a humanitarian, he's above reproach. I mean, nothing compares to him, you know. But that being said, I think that's why he isn't in these conversations now. He wasn't good with the media. He was a Muslim at a time when it wasn't cool to be a Muslim. You know, he practiced martial arts. He was in movies. You know, he was
like the courthouse said, you can't judge off the court, right? You're supposed to be on the court.
But at that time, you know, that a lot of that was held against him.
Oh
And,
yeah.
You know, he easily he wasn't liked at all. He wasn't liked at all. And you know,
reminds me of somebody though.
He's the reason I am a Lakers fan. He's the reason I love the game of basketball. And he will forever be the GOAT simply because he played 3 years of college, you know. And if we put him in the NBA as right out of high school, who knows how many he would have scored, you know. And he has to this day the only unstoppable shot in the game of basketball.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. I know I shouldn't do this, and I know it's unfair. We should never do this to our young talent. No, we shouldn't. But I'm gonna go ahead and just put it out.
What?
I say it again.
I said we should never do what?
Put this on our young talent. We probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a projection. Wembanyama, I think, is going to end up reminding us of Kareem.
You saw I sent you the clip earlier, right?
No, I didn't see it.
I sent you the clip of him. What would be considered goaltending in the NBA, but international, where you can just take it out the rim.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. He. We might actually have to be careful with him coming over here, because if they change the rules to the FIBA rules, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Wes, when I tell you this Joker was just taking the ball out the rim, dudes was shooting and he just taking it out the rim.
Take it out the rim.
Going the other way. It was ridiculous.
He's about to be like the Wakanda.
Yeah.
It's going to be that. Like,
if he stays injury free, he changes the game.
He's going to change the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, you talking about 20 years? That's a long time. I mean, he definitely is a phenom, and the body and the skills and all he's bringing. He's going to be a sight for sore eyes, but he got to have some longevity on his game too.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he has it, but man.
Yeah, 20 years is a long time.
Well, you really think of Kareem. Kareem avoided injury. I mean, he got hurt in the finals that year, but you think about Kareem's career, he wasn't a dude that was always hurt.
Yeah,
Kareem played pretty clean.
Sprains, you know, that was about it. That was about it.
Yeah, he played pretty clean most of his career.
Yep.
Yeah, and Wembanyama,
in terms of injuries. So I mean,
he's not like an overly heavy guy. He's just tall. He's got weight on him, but he's not like Zion.
Yeah, and he has room to gain more.
Let me ask y'all a question. Mm-hmm. Let me ask y'all a question, because I remember talking about this maybe 6 months ago or so, like maybe this time after the NCAA tournament into the summer, and we were talking about drafts and all that. And where's Chet Holmgren at?
He's hurt.
He's hurt. Remember, he got hurt in summer league.
I know he's hurt because he liked ass. That's why.
Yeah, he tore his knee up.
Yeah, but
no, it's his foot. No, it's his foot.
It's his foot. It's his foot. But
it's his foot. No, I know. He tried to challenge a dunk in a summer league game and got bucked over and landed awkwardly. That's what happened.
Did he try to challenge Zion? Right.
It was
he backpedaling?
It was somebody.
Zion?
It was somebody big that he, like somebody popular. He tried to block his dunk.
Done it.
And he shouldn't have done it.
No, he was backpedaling. Like, he's just whoop. But
yeah, he got caught out there.
I called it before it happened. I was like, yo, he's not gonna last.
Well, let's see his body when he comes back. That's gonna be the test.
Right.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like when he comes back.
That's
When I looked at when y'all brought up that guy, Miyama, I saw his body and he's thin, but you can see in his shoulders and his body concept that he can grow into it. When you look at the other dude, he looked like it just don't look the same.
Yeah.
His structure just doesn't look the same. And he's got skills. But I'm telling you, that NCAA tournament tells you who players are. It does. It really does. Like the media the NBA can hype people up and hide people for a long time because they live off of like the hype of it. But we saw who Ja Morant was in the NCAA tournament. We got to see it. So it wasn't a surprise.
Okay.
You know?
That's what I wanted to talk about.
It's certain players that you just see it. And that's why I wish all these guys would want to do it, because you can't beat that experience playing in that event. That's like a basketball mecca to me for your resume, playing in the NCAAs. It's part of your stripes in basketball to me.
Yeah, because if you're that good, basketball is one of those games where you can will your team to 1 or 2 rounds in the tournament if you that cat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's only a few guys that can skip it. There's only, look at the dope dudes that skipped it. We ain't got no problems with Kobe, Garnett, and LeBron. Mm-hmm. We get it. But even them, if you ask them again, I bet you they'd want to play in the NCAA tournament as hoopers, as true hoopers. I bet you they really would want to play in that, because that's something that they probably could have missed. That's something that you can't. That experience is crazy. That tournament that's one of the best basketball events we have in the country.
Yeah, you want that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's a lot going on in the NBA, and not all of it not good. I don't know if you guys heard about the incident with the Grizzlies, Ja Morant, and posse.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The Pacers.
Hey, fill me in, because I feel like I'm missing some.
So Ja Morant got into a verbal back and forth with one of the Pacers players. After the game, Ja Morant was in a car with other folks, and from the car was a red dot was being flashed on the Indiana Pacers bus.
Not a good look.
Maybe you just had a pointer. I use it in school sometimes.
Maybe.
That's what it was.
In all seriousness, that's a terroristic threat.
And I think because they're young and they trying to have that thuggish persona in Memphis, like that young thug crew rocking grills and all that, that ain't cool, yo.
I'm not going to attach rock and grills to it, but.
Well, that just hard, that hard Memphis type of, Southern,
Yeah.
I don't think Ja Morant's that stupid for where he is right now. He could lose everything. That one simple act could cause him to lose everything. I don't think
there's been an investigation into it. I don't know what the outcome is or where how far that investigation is going to go. But that's just it's like, all right, what's going on here, guys? What's really good?
Bad look.
If it's what we think it is, if it was actually red beam from a gun, they're gonna suspend his ass and he's gonna pay a hefty fine.
Yeah. But even if it's a beam from a red pen, right? The idea is that you can say, "Oh, it's a pen. It really is a pen." But what's the intention behind it? And it's just.
And the effects of the threat was real. They ain't know it was a pen.
I think it's a bad look because
it's definitely a bad look. I think he gets suspended either way.
It's more than a pen.
Yeah. So, young brothers and sisters out there got a lot ahead of you. a lot of positive ahead of you. Let's not even in jest ruin our career because of a misunderstanding. Let's be careful about what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyway,
Here's the other thing with that though. We've seen this build up kind of coming with him, whether it was going to be him, someone in his camp, or his father. They were enjoying themselves and keeping it real too much. You know, we've seen possible dust ups with his father on the sidelines, you know, with players, with commentators, with other fathers, you know. So we've seen things coming for quite some time with him in his camp.
Yeah, but is it just his camp or is it just the Grizzlies? Because I mean, look at Dylan Brooks the other night, and that's against.
Well, I think it's the culture. I think it's the culture that emanates from their leader.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just Memphis. By the way,
I agree.
I agree. Grizzlies. I don't think that I don't make John Morant or his camp the scapegoat for a larger problem. Right. It's just the energy that we keep creating, we're promoting, and we're pushing, we're getting swept up in. It just leads to disaster and destruction. It just doesn't. We have again all these opportunities. Why mess it up over ego? Why mess it up over street cred? Why mess it up because some folks who don't have what you have are gassing you up to be a part of something that's not who you are.
I mean, look, we had Luka a couple games ago curse out a assistant coach on one of the other teams. Mm-hmm. Players would never do such a thing. It's gotten out of hand with these guys because they're so entitled. They're in a world that they feel they can say and do what they want, and they're trying to live up to what is their world.
Yeah, for sure.
It's their world.
It's definitely their world.
Yeah.
They don't know anything different, unfortunately.
And to not get it twisted, they deserve every penny that they get because of what they bring in the entertainment value and the
absolutely
joy that they bring to our lives.
Because people have jobs because of them.
That's right. Yeah. It's a whole industry around them. So let's, we don't want to.
We don't get it twisted.
Knocking them. No, we want to see these brothers and sisters, achieve their dreams. All of it. Let's leave the thuggery over there.
Yeah.
The foolishness.
The foolishness.
That's all it is.
Man. Yeah.
A lot of it.
Misdirected energy.
Are we since we said Luka, can we talk about Kyrie?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Can we what y'all feel?
Because I don't have enough quarters to put on the video game for all the damn dribbling they're gonna be doing. Put them in their back. Dribble. What? It's a whole lot of dribbling.
That's just it, though. Wes, it's only 24 seconds on that clock. You know what I'm saying? So I
don't see it working. I don't see it working at all.
Around the dribbling.
Yeah, well, I saw a report that Dallas said they're not interested in extending.
Yeah.
So
Jason Kidd wanted this deal, and I kind of get it, but Luka has the ball in his hands for 20 of the 24 seconds on the shot clock. He hasn't changed that yet. He's still playing the same brand of basketball, dribbling to the shot clock out, and I just don't see how Kyrie coexists with that.
I think from a X and O standpoint, I think they're just going to run a spread pick and roll offense. You set the first one, Luka goes. He don't have it. He kicks it to Kyrie. They set it. He goes. He don't have it. By that time, your shot clock is down to about 8 or 6 or so. But how many times do you have to set a pick and roll with those guys and they don't go and score?
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually kind of easy. I see what Jason Kidd was saying. It's kind of easy.
You get it, but what I'm saying though, it's I don't know if it's a good experiment. Who they gonna stop too?
Yeah, who they gonna stop? I mean,
now that's where your problem is.
It ain't nothing but red tapes out there. Matadors.
Olay. You talking about two brothers with very fragile egos. Yeah. And it's about when I get the ball, how much, Luka ain't fin to share. he trying to share the
No,
star.
I don't see. I don't agree with that.
To,
I don't agree with that because I think Luka shares with people he respects, just like Kyrie
That's a good point.
shares with people he respects. When you at that level and you think you the best, why get a ball to somebody else who not on your level?
He don't need the ball in his hand. Luka does.
No, he really don't. On that team, because of what they had, yes, he had to keep the ball in his hand. Who else you gonna put it in? They didn't have nobody you could put the ball in their hand.
I just feel like it's like
Coach. I'm gonna defer to you on that. I'm gonna agree with you on that because I haven't seen anything different, right? So until I see it in process, I'm gonna give it a shot. But I do know this: what I've seen in process. Neither one of them boys can spell defense.
No, that's where the problem will be. And I hope Christian Wood can stay out of foul trouble because he's their only hope defensively.
Wow.
They just gotta hope the pressure they put on teams as far as trying to match them offensively will take away from their lack of defense. Because while Luka's gotten a little better, Kyrie, he'll get you some steals, but he ain't, he ain't
the only person I see Kyrie play defense on the NBA is Steph Curry. As far as Nolan too, then, because he get up for those two dudes. Everybody else, he don't care.
I agree.
So I seen Kyrie do it. The thing about Luka, I ain't never seen him play defense,
and he's not going to.
Kyrie, at least I've seen him in action, try to, put the effort out there. I just never seen Luka do it at all.
And Kyrie is the one that he's going to be forced to play defense because you got to hide Luka on defense. You just you have to.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. They went to the finals, the conference finals last year. So they thinking if they add a superstar like Kyrie, they can at least do that, hopefully do that, and maybe surprise someone. Because if we look at the West, it's a bunch in the middle. Besides Denver and Memphis, which is right below them, it's a bunch in the middle.
Yeah. But did Dallas lose with letting Finney Smith go as defense?
His defense, the intangibles.
And Dinwiddie is like he's nothing to sneeze at. Of course, he's not Kyrie, but Lord knows he can light it up when he feels it, and he gives you more defense. No,
I agree. I thought the Nets came out winners in the trade by far.
I did too.
I think so too.
I agree,
but
I do too.
I think
like
better.
They just wanted. This is a half-year experiment to see if really Luka will give up the ball and see if he will play, if he can play alongside another superstar. Because I bet if this works and they get back to the finals, whatever, I bet you they'll extend them.
It doesn't matter. Kyrie don't want to be there.
He ain't gonna. Kyrie ain't staying there. Yes. Kyrie gonna be in LA next year.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook contract comes off the books.
He might be flying to Dallas games from LA.
He's so ready for LA. It's ridiculous.
And I respect the owner for not trading him to LA. Like, I'm not giving you what you want.
Yeah.
I like that kind of petty. I'm not giving you what you want.
That makes sense.
And let me not speak out of place, being that I'm not a lifelong Laker fan. I think it was best that they didn't trade for him now, because why give anything up when you can get him in June?
True, that makes sense. Yeah. But are we positive that it's the Lakers?
No, it might be the Clippers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they need a point guard too.
Yeah,
and Kawhi and Paul George and Kyrie is a nice threesome.
I've always thought it was Lakers because of the Kobe situation, but I do like the Clippers situation better.
I do too. For him.
I don't know, because both those guys are variables. They both AD in disguise.
Well, one is mentally AD and the other one is physically AD.
Yeah. Okay. There you
go. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. But one thing I can say about Kawhi, like I told Hawk the other day, he put on the playoff lights all bets are off.
No,
You say what you want about him. He gonna be in the building.
Who they played the other night when it was a buzzer shot, and he did the turnaround.
Oh, the one he airballed?
The knees just wouldn't cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get nothing up on the shot. I'm like, the knees.
That's because he don't play enough.
Don't play enough.
Not play enough. It's how Chris Webber say, everybody got a certain amount of jumps in their knees, and once you hit that number,
that's it.
Can't do it. Your mind says it. Everything else, your form, every knees is like,
I respect.
Quarters, son, what are you doing to me right now?
I always respect how Kawhi has been stealing money from these teams for years. Going back to San Antonio,
he was getting them.
He's been getting them for years.
I'm not right. I'm just not right. I'm not right yet.
And look, he wasn't right in San Antonio.
Third and fourth and fifth opinions, not right.
Yep.
Go to Toronto and get how did that happen? And is Nick Nurse still gonna have a job?
No.
I'm trying to find out. Masking for.
You asking for a friend?
Coach Casey. Masking for Coach Casey.
Okay.
I'm just always Cass was telling me that Dwayne Casey was just not the caliber of coach to take a team to the chip, win it. But we just went to the conference finals. What are you talking about? He was LeBron away from the chip. Nah, he wasn't good enough. All right, they switch up, get Kawhi Leonard. LeBron goes.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's Nick Nurse.
Yeah, and everybody on the roster except Scotty Barnes is on the trading block. So,
Nick Nurse was did get exempt. I mean, Nick Nurse was everybody I do. Frank Vogel wasn't no damn good coach. He was their fifth choice. I mean, I know they won the chip and everything, but that was a glorified AAU event.
Yep.
That's
all it was.
That's so disrespectful.
That's what it was. It was a glorified AAU tournament.
I played in it.
They was all going back. It was
the NBA playoffs and championship at that time in our lives, going through what this world, the nation, and the international community, what we had to endure, and we had the NBA championship to watch and be engaged with. And
I thought that was awesome, but I thought it was an awesome thing to do. But they had an AAU tournament in Disneyland.
Yep, it was the Nationals.
That's what they did.
Coached there several times. It was the same thing.
I think it was great that they gave us that. I thought it was awesome. That was a great thing. Yada yada. But they were in one location with a bunch of courts, like AAU, and they relived their high school days.
Oh, it was a different set of obstacles, a different set of circumstances. It wasn't that there weren't any. It wasn't that there. It was a different set of them. You had to.
It was a different set of
AAU tournament. It was nationals.
Huh?
It was AAU nationals. That's all it was. At nationals, you stay with your team and the coach. Your family be elsewhere.
If you're not gonna help me, you're just gonna let me out here. Let them beat me up.
I mean, you're defending a championship. I don't think. Listen, somebody had to win it, and the Lakers won it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't,
I agree with that.
If they wouldn't,
that I agree with.
If they wouldn't have won that,
I agree with that.
They couldn't even win it in the bubble.
They won the chip. No, I wouldn't say that. It was still a bubble chip because it was in a bubble, so it was a bubble chip. So, still a chip, still in the bubble chip.
I mean, you always happy to win the ring.
Yeah. Somebody got to win. I totally agree with Cliff's statement. Somebody has to win.
Yeah, and AD's health is always going to be questioned because how it happened. Again, after 4-month playoff, this cat's healthy. Then you're going to the bubble. Okay, he don't have enough time to get hurt. Yep. So you got him.
Exactly. And again, all the teams got 4 months off. All the teams have 4 months off. I get that, right?
Everybody
so
set of circumstances.
Everybody had the same circumstances, which I would call that a bubble chip for them too. So no matter who won it, I mean, think about it. The Miami Heat give you the reason why Coach and I are saying it was a glorified AAU tournament. The Miami Heat came together like AAU dudes. They probably playing spades together. They video games, and they were just connected. They bonded like nobody else. The Phoenix Suns bonded. Teams that were bad were good in the bubble because they got to be around each other outside of all the surface stuff that they're around every day. That's a lot of the reason for success. The Lakers, who got nothing but superstars on their team and individuals, they struggled early because they need the outside things. That's what makes them who they are. They had to learn how to come together because in the beginning they were 0-8 or 1-7.
Yep, they don't know how to be regular. And the reason that AD is healthy, because during that time, not only the 4-month layoff, but he didn't have to climb in and out of a car the whole time he was down there.
The menu, you get to watch everything he did was on notice. So LeBron could have been like, "Yo, you ain't eating that." Nah, dog. I mean, and I'm saying no. You can't have those Twizzlers. You know, we eating celery sticks today.
He couldn't go nowhere. He couldn't go nowhere. He just
really don't understand. I don't get how a professional athlete who's immersed around health and wellness, you would think, wouldn't indulge just to make themselves better, their body. How would that not be just natural for you to be on? You know what? I'm injury prone. You know what? I'm gonna do stuff specifically to guard against the not to say that that always works or is perfect, but
you are who you are.
You can tell.
We can't even really say that's not happening, but just in looking at, he's just injury prone. Like even the way he jumps and flails his body, it's always awkward. It's always something where you're holding your breath. It's like he doesn't have control of like when he's jumping around.
They were on the Knicks game.
At the half court shot, he threw up. It almost towards.
He constantly puts himself in vulnerable positions.
Because he grew the way he grew, growing 9 inches over summer. You don't have time to adjust to your body and learn how to control your body in that manner.
Yeah,
it's like for us going from a toddler to a full-grown adult. You know, you'd be like, hey.
But at the same time, the stuff that he does on the court takes agility, takes that coordination, like the 6'11", and he's handling the ball like a 2.
Because he kept the skill set that he had when he was 6'1". You know,
it's like the points of agility are maximized when he's using it, but his other parts of his body are just like out of control, just not in sync.
It calls crazy landings be.
Yeah, it's just like awkward.
I mean, I don't know if any of y'all have been to any of those jump gyms or whatever they are.
Yeah,
you see some people just they know how to take off, but they don't know how to
land. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that all the time. Sometimes I work out with other people, and we have to do like broad jumps or just jumps in general, and they always tell people to land soft. They don't know how to do it.
Yep.
They don't know how to land soft. They can't. They
land flat foot and just.
Yep.
When's the last time any of you gentlemen ran like a good run?
I don't have that in my repertoire.
I can't because of my heart. You know,
I did a 10K maybe a few months ago.
Oh, God bless you. Now I ride a bike.
Western doesn't apply, but I tried to run. Every once in a while, I'll try to run, and just my mechanics are all messed up. So I'm just like clunking around. You just feel it in your joints and your hips and your back. It's like I'm good for like 10 steps, and it's like, all right, I'm good.
It's crazy. I'm good.
You know, it's like you talk about some shit happened, like you just had to be out. Nigga, my trot game would be off the charts. It'd be a good trick. Kid can't run.
Oh yeah, I'm the ultimate fast walker right now.
Fast walk, trot, be crazy. No,
my walking game is
I can't do it. But I'm gonna get it back. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna get it back. I'm definitely gonna get it back.
Yeah, it's a. I think the first time I started running again about 5-6 years ago, They asked me to do a mile, and I think it took me like 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and I was like, damn. Then by the time about three years later, my best time was I did a 5:58.
Oh, that's good.
Mile, but now it's like 7:30, 7:45.
Oh, that shit sounds great.
It's crazy, but yeah,
that's good.
I like running, so
heart health.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but I got asthma, so it's real important for me to kind of keep the cardio going the right way.
Yeah,
you know, and stuff like that. Because I always breathe hard, but even though with that, it's the best thing I could do is run.
Yeah, right now I'm like the elliptical, no impact.
Yeah,
just to get the heart up, but I would really like to run. I want to run
again. Yeah. Well, with the Lakers, I watched the Knicks game after we hung up the phone that night. I said I wasn't gonna watch, and I actually watched the rest of the Knicks game that night, and I watched the Lakers play, and I honestly think that with that kid that they got from Gonzaga with the Washington Wizards, him playing a lot of the 3 and the 4 position, and allowing even like they can go really big with him on the court with AD, him, LeBron, and you got Russ to finish with when that kid Reeves comes back, because I think he's a good piece that they have. They got a good enough team to cause some damage if they can get out the play-in game.
Thank you.
But who knows if they can get out the play-in game? But they might be a problem if they can get to that point. Just watching it. I'm trying to watch it with an open mind. I went on there.
I appreciate that.
And I watched it.
I applaud that.
And I said, this team is not bad.
Not bad.
They don't play enough defense, but they got enough. But with this NBA, that kid allowing LeBron to play whatever position he wants outside of 4 and 5 and be a 2-3, a 1-2 or a 3, and it really Westbrook becomes more effective because he could play the pick and roll game with AD, which they did in that stretch game, the stretch point of that Knicks game. They ran a couple of 2-man game with the Knicks on that one, and if they can get that kid from Detroit, the European 3-point shooter, Bogdanovich, they trying to get.
Yeah.
They get a 3-point shooter. That might be all they need.
I mean, and there's an opening there because Golden State gonna lose some games with Steph out for an extended period of time.
It's there. It's there. I still don't like celebrating under 500. I still think we celebrate under 500 way too much.
No, it wasn't celebrating under 500. It was just making the assessment that you just made. It was looking at them and realizing it's not last year's team. It's not even. They're better than the beginning of this year. They look like a solid team. They're a piece away. They get a nice shooter, but in terms of what they have now, is a good foundation for something if they can put it together. It's all that was.
Yeah. But to me, you know what they remind me of? To be honest with you, and people might think different. They look like they weren't under 500, but they look like the Lakers when Kobe, Powell, Nash, and Howard were there, and they couldn't get them on the court together.
Yeah.
And everybody was killing Kobe, but Nash and Howard were hurt the whole year, right? And Pau Gasol got hurt, and then when they kind of got on the court together, he couldn't stop them. When they were all 4 played, they couldn't be stopped. And then my man popped his Achilles, and everybody forgot about the season he had that year to get him to that point. When he had one of his best statistical seasons in his career. But that's what it looks like to me. So if they don't get injured, they can get somebody. Put it that way. They can get anybody in the West.
I agree.
Well, it's Denver on top, particularly how Memphis have fallen off. But besides Denver,
they beat
they're
them
right
already.
I just want the Lakers to trade LeBron.
What happened?
Just
my computer
let the
went
Lakers
out.
Trade. Once
Yeah,
they trade
I'll be happy
LeBron,
when it's over. I'll be happy when it's over. But I'm just looking at
because
the one.
if the Lakers allow him to hold him hostage till his son comes out of college, I'm done. I'm done. They cannot allow that.
Do you know
and
that
Lil Bronny
he's the highlight of McDonald's? He's the marquee player for the McDonald's All-American game.
Yeah, he shouldn't have made the team.
He's at the Houston. Yes, in Houston.
Come on, man, y'all know what it is. I don't know why y'all
He's the
act
marquee player on the docket.
He should not have made the team. He's like,
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, coach. He's gonna be the best player on the team. You know why? Because he's the type of player. Let me tell you Bronny's game. Bronny's the type of player that shines with good players around him.
That's
right?
true.
So he can fit in really well with good players around him, but he can't carry he can't take a roster of his high school teammates and go anywhere. If they're not stud athletes.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
He's a good piece.
Right.
But I'm gonna give you some pushback to that assessment.
That's not a bad thing to be either.
No, not at all. But I'll give you some pushback to that assessment.
You know, you
all them other jokers that's gonna be there, they know that. And they gonna make him work, fat. They're not gonna allow him to look good. Because he has the advantage. They are not gonna allow him to look good. Because he shouldn't be there. You should not be ranked. I believe he's 37th or 38th in the country, something like that, or somewhere in the 30s, and make the McDonald's game.
Yeah, the top 24 make the McDonald's game.
Exactly.
And that's how it's always been. Because the Elite 24 play in New York.
Yep.
That same group goes to the McDonald's game.
Yep. You know, there's always some switch outs. Guys might be too old or something.
So he took somebody's spot, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he's like I said, they marketed him out here in Houston.
Yeah.
Because that's it.
Well, he has the highest NIL deal out of anybody right now in amateur sports. You know, so he's double what's the Manning kid, Arch Manning?
Yeah.
He's double him. So yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to the game, so
it's gonna be a good game. You got two.
Yeah, it should be.
Well, no, you got 3 Jersey kids in there actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to going to it.
Now he's a senior this year, right, Bronny?
Yeah.
So did he commit to any place for next year?
Not yet. They're talking Oregon. That's that Nike money. Especially since he got a deal with Nike already. Why wouldn't you go there?
Makes sense. Not enough, but that's not enough media coverage for LeBron. You know, Oregon is just not going to get it done.
Maybe it's just enough to hide him. You know what I'm saying? Just not too
the way
much.
they play and the way Oregon plays, they just up and down real fast. You know, fast break kind of basketball, and LeBron can get there easily from LA.
From LA, and it's Pac-10, and Pac-10 ain't all that competition.
That's right, because UCLA and USC going to the Big Ten.
Exactly. So,
and you don't want him going to, like they talked about Ohio State. You don't want him in the Big Ten.
What about him going to Colorado to playing with some Dion in there?
That's same thing. Pac-10. That's not.
Yeah,
bad.
I'm saying he can still be in the Pac-10, but that's more of a draw for the Pac-10.
Yeah. I mean, I like him in the Pac-10. I don't like him anywhere, any other conference, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think he got SEC talent.
No.
He got Pac-10. He got Pac-10 talent.
Yeah.
He got Pac-10 talent.
He will be exposed if he goes anywhere else.
Big East, SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, or even the Big Ten. With that rugged ball.
Yeah, he can't play that
because you got to create. You got to create in the Big Ten or have a big man.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's not ready for that. Because we see right now, he isn't really doing a great job leading that Sierra Canyon team. You know, they've lost a lot of games.
What year is Carmelo's kid in?
He's a sophomore. He's coming along nicely.
And so is he the same?
Where's Chris Paul? Is Chris Paul kid playing? Is little Chris playing?
I don't hear a lot about him. So I don't know to what extent.
Is Bryce a sophomore? Braun's other kid?
Yeah. Now he's going to be better than Bronny. He has the size, he's a lefty as well, I think he has potential to be better.
Okay.
Yo, so not to interrupt your flow, but Mad Izm Sports. My guy just came through Mad Izm, one of which is called Gary Payton.
The glove.
The glove. About to get into this Gary Payton. Okay, you guys can get back to the
He's about to get into this Gary Payton.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Mad Izm Sports.
Oh man. He's about to get into Oh man, I know I wished you a happy birthday, Hawk, and a happy anniversary already, but I just gotta shout you out again.
MJ Day, Hawk. Happy MJ Day.
Yeah.
323. I see. That's right. February 3rd, 1969. A boy was born. Orange Memorial Hospital, Orange, New Jersey. And on 2017, February 3rd, I got married.
Beautiful.
Special days. Mad Aquarians. Peanut, he's a February 3rd as well. And my cousins, Shimon and Tommy, their birthdays today, February 7th. So, Team Aquarius all month. Well,
that's why you're supposed to be a Jordan fan.
He was. He did that for a little while.
And I still am. Like, I don't know why I still am. Like, MJ is.
He likes Jordan still. He still likes that.
He's the definition of winning. Like, Jordan is, when you think of winning, you think Michael Jordan.
You can't think LeBron. He has a losing record in the championships. You can't think LeBron. You got to have a positive winning record.
Well, when we get to that segment, and he got an argument for you. Ryan Davis did his thing. He's got an argument for you, Coach. I'm telling you.
And what I'm going to say is, I know they talk about who he played against, but he beat the Gloves, twice? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Glove was the best.
No, he beat Karl Malone twice. He beat the Glove once.
He beat the Glove once. The best defensive guard in the league. Beat him.
He beat Karl Malone twice. The Glove once. He beat Clyde Drexler once. And he beat Barkley once. And he beat Magic. So those are his. Those are his six.
Not bad. Not bad.
What position did Gary Payton play?
Point guard.
What position did Michael Jordan play?
Two guard. But who is Gary Payton's teammate at two guard? Hersey Hawkins. That's why he had to guard Jordan.
Exactly.
Enough said. Hersey Hawkins. Enough said. That was a two guard. That was a two guard in Seattle when Jordan and Seattle got the tussle on. How about Phoenix when he played there? When Kevin Johnson had to guard Mike because Dan Marley, the great hope, was just garbage. He couldn't even touch Jordan. They were like, "Oh, Dan Marley." Dan Marley hadn't been. He was never the same player after that finals. He was done. Byron Scott was done.
Great.
After, Byron Scott got destroyed by Michael Jordan in the final that year. He couldn't hit a bucket. He couldn't hit a bucket. He couldn't hit the side of a barn for the Lakers.
Like there were stretches of time where I didn't think Michael Jordan would miss a shot.
Yeah.
He went to the hole, and when he went to the hole, he's scoring the ball.
It was going in.
He's scoring the ball. That's what he did. He scored the ball.
And he destroyed everybody.
Yeah, mentally, emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
He took people's home with him. Put it in their pocket. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
He came in cold, figured out how to win, but was still dominating. Won 3 in a row, then took 2 years off, then won 3. I mean, he, in a 10-year stretch, arguably, if he didn't take 2 years off, you probably say
won 8
straight.
He could have won 8.
He could have won 8 straight. You mean,
I don't know. Kenny Smith said that wasn't gonna happen. He was like, "There's no way they would have beat the Houston
Kenny talk all that stuff about the Rockets back then.
Uh-oh.
See the thing Kenny don't understand? Mike was his guard. He would have had to guard Mike.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, his point was they had nothing for Hakim. So
let me ask Kenny.
I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just
I don't disagree with Kenny because Mike said that the only player he was scared of was Vernon Maxwell.
Rightfully so.
Mike said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's some possibility that could have happened. But I always ask people that root for the Rockets and Olajuwon fans, where was Olajuwon in all those years when Jordan was playing? Where were the Rockets?
During the season, they would always beat them.
Houston Rockets would beat the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. They just couldn't get out the West in the playoffs.
They couldn't get out the West.
Who else was in the West at that time?
Carmelo, Utah, Phoenix beat them. San Antonio got them a couple of times. Yeah, so they had a couple of teams out there that could get them. But, a lot of people out here in Houston feel like Olajuwon is the best center ever to play.
That's a good argument.
I can't disagree with that. I can't. You get to a point, man, I can't even argue the point because you could chop in so many ways.
Yeah.
Best ever, Olajuwon over Wilt, Bill Russell, Kareem, Shaq.
I can go over Shaq. I can definitely go over Shaq. But I saw Kareem put 40 up against Olajuwon and Sampson when they were young boys, and Kareem was an old man, and they were both on the court together. So I'm like, yeah, when you actually get to play against the guy, and you can't like I'm giving Olajuwon Shaq because he dominated Shaq. You know what I'm saying? So but I can't put Olajuwon over Kareem because I've seen him play.
Yep.
I seen it. They was on the court together, and it wasn't a good look for the Rockets. But he's dope, no doubt.
The three top big men, like I told Hawk, I heard something that now forever is how I answer the top question. It's like everybody starts at 6 because is the top 3 big men, and that's Kareem, Wilt, and Bill. And then you got Jordan and LeBron. And then everything basically, when we talk about best of, you got to at least be at 6 for how to have that conversation because it's hard the top 3, the big men, it's really hard anyone's career to top them. Be it Duncan, be it Shaq, whatever. How can you really, go against Bill, Walt, and Kareem? It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got 6 championships and 11 championships, 100 points.
I mean, yeah,
moving the rims, whatever they were doing with the rims.
Yeah, they dominated.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about: being able to dominate the game.
Mm-hmm. And we saw that with Jordan. Like LeBron definitely had the best career, I think, of all time. That's what we're getting down to. But for our eyes, particularly those 10 years, what Jordan was doing, I ain't never seen anyone else do it.
No.
That's the greatest 10-year stretch I've seen in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Like that 10 years.
Yeah, Jordan winning 6 and 10 was obviously better than Kobe winning 5 and 10, but it was just the best I've seen too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
And how he was doing it, his progression, his maturation. Now LeBron doing it for as long as he's doing and the way he's dominating now, like I wouldn't surprise me
at
if
the level.
Night. Yeah, I mean he's still right there with all these young boys.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt that he's right there with the young boys. But that just goes like people keep saying is about like the game is different. Yeah, the young boys play the game different. They don't guard in the NBA. So it's like as great as I still think LeBron would still be. he's one of the few dudes that could play in probably any era, right?
Because of his body.
Because of his body, yeah. So, I can't say that about everybody that I've seen play. So I still think he'd have success, but the way they play the game, man, I mean, it's conducive to a guy that has the skill set that he has to be around because these cats' IQs aren't. He got the best IQ in basketball.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Period. I don't even think there's a debate about that. Highest IQ in basketball is him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this game today. But let me tell you this. We talk about this. What happens? I asked this question last year and it happened, and now it's 4-4. What happens if Steph gets his 5th ring?
Steph is better. That's
I don't think it's a matter of better.
Steph is already in the conversation for me.
He's in the conversation
because he changed the game.
It's not even a question whether he's in the conversation. That's why I can't argue. Somebody says, "Oh, Steph is the greatest of all time." Right?
No, I don't know if he's the greatest. He's still the greatest shooter, right? Just like to me, Steph's biggest asset is his best shot, right? Best shot, period. Yep. LeBron's biggest asset, really, when you think about every part of his game, is his availability.
Yep.
It's not about a jump shot. It's not about he was the best passer because we've seen Magic do it. LeBron does everything well. He's not the best at any of it. He has one of the highest IQs, but so did Bird, so did Magic. So I'm saying LeBron doesn't possess anything but the availability that anyone else did. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I got you. But you also said that he's got the highest IQ in the game today.
Huh?
Undeniably.
Today.
Right.
Yeah. Today.
But let's.
Right.
What I'm saying is that.
But let's put that in perspective.
With Steph, including Steph.
Yeah, but put that in perspective of the guys who are out there playing today. They're not bright.
All right, but Steph is what you guys said with the comparison with what happens.
Yeah, I'm talking about Steph.
What happened?
Steph has a high IQ.
No,
he has a high IQ.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm not saying his is greater or lesser than LeBron's. I'm saying that Wes said that LeBron has the highest IQ in the game. Yeah. And he said it with so much affirmation that it's no question when it comes to IQ and how the game is played and how to best play it in today's game.
He does it the best.
Yeah,
right.
But then he followed it up with Steph has the best shot in the game.
Right.
Everybody has what they're best at.
Somebody says to me, right? If somebody says to me, I'm not saying that he is or he isn't. I'm saying if somebody says to me, Steph Curry is the best in the game. I'm not going to argue the point because you could chop it you could really make a case for it. You can, for sure. I can't argue. I can't, if that's the way you're looking at it, but there can also be a case made for this. And when you add in IQ and availability, right?
Well, it was a specific thing that I was saying he was the best at, because again, there's so many great players, right? So we can, like you said, you can mince this and chop it up any way you want it to go. But when you specifically, like Coach said, with Kareem, he had an unstoppable shot. You said when it came to winning, you thought about Jordan. You definitively said that. So it's like I said in today's game, it's LeBron, but I also said that I've seen other people. The only thing I haven't seen anyone do that LeBron has done is be available. And that's how you do. That's how you accumulate the numbers that you accumulate because you're out there all the time. You've had 20 years to play it, and you avoided the big injury, which is a testament to him and how he invested in his body.
And you know how to play the game.
Yeah, part of it. Yeah, part of it is how to play the game.
I think we can even argue IQ if Jokic keeps playing the way he's playing.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yes,
I agree with that. But you know what Joker has to do, Doc? He got to get to the finals.
Yeah.
He can't just keep winning MVPs. Right. That doesn't. He hasn't been to a finals yet. We can't even talk about Joker seriously because he ain't been in the finals yet. Right. So that's the thing he got to do. LeBron, we talking about IQ of a guy that been to 10 finals versus the IQ of a guy who won 2 MVPs. I don't care about triple doubles. Russell Westbrook get triple doubles every night.
And he has no IQ whatsoever.
No IQ. So and he ain't been in the finals.
Yeah,
but no, he went once. He went once.
And that's what that ultimately will be the separation.
Yeah, and it's not always about championships, but I still think part of being a great player is getting to the highest level of what you're playing for is a championship, right? So he has 2 MVPs.
It's about getting to the promised land.
Yeah.
Dan Marino is one of the greatest talents we've ever seen. He win the chip.
He can throw the ball.
You can't even. It's Montana. It's Brady. You Elway. It's Peyton.
But Marino gets elevated somewhat because he got to the dance at least.
And ironically, and don't get it twisted, because ironically, talking about this conversation, Dan Orlowski, who used to be a quarterback in the pros, had a recent top 5 list where he actually put Dan Marino number 5, and he left Montana off the list.
Oh God. I've
Which
never seen that.
Wait, who did he put on the list ahead of Montana besides Marino?
He had Mahomes 1. He had Manning 2. He had Mahomes 1, Brady 2, Peyton 3, Elway 4, and Marino 5.
That's a fucked up list.
That's
terrible.
I'm
That's
sorry.
a list coming from Dan Orlowski, who went to Connecticut.
That's terrible.
Harry, saying Pat Mahomes is better than Tom Brady is like saying Joe Burrow is better than Pat Mahomes.
Yep.
Until you do it, we don't know if you can do it.
Yeah.
Tom Brady did it. Tom Brady.
You gotta understand Dan Orlowski.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he had Brady 1 and Mahomes 2. Maybe he had, and then it was Manning, Elway, Marino. But the whole thing was he didn't have Montana on the list.
And I don't know how you have any list without Montana as the top quarterback.
Exactly.
Brady, Montana, and however you want to shuffle it after that.
Yeah, it's one. Those are 1, 2 automatically. Brady and Montana, and then everybody else. Because there's an argument that could be made about Montana even over Brady because he ain't lose a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's the best that ever did it to me.
Going away, he went to 11 Super Bowls and won 7.
Yeah, Brady. I mean, I'm just saying. Well, he went to 11, but LeBron went to 10 and lost 6. Brady went to 11 and lost.
Yeah,
and won 7, right?
Yeah, so he had a winning record when he.
Yeah, he had a winning record in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the thing about Brady,
did we give him an extra? I thought he only went to 10 and won.
He went to
7.
10. No, he went to 10. You're right. He went to 10.
Okay,
he was 7-3.
Yeah,
he was
7-3.
Winning record. He wasn't 4-6. He was 7-3. I just want to be clear
on
the numbers.
I mean, whatever you say, there's only like 2 or 3 people in the space that you're saying it in. So there's can't be a Brady, a Jordan, a Russell. Outside of that, with Robert Horry, want to throw him in there too?
No, Robert Horry went to 8 championships and won 7.
He's a winner. He's a winner.
Big Shot Bob won 7 rings.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, with the Lakers, that's two of those rings is his ring. If
Yeah.
Ray Allen owns the ring in Miami, and Kyrie owns the ring in Cleveland, Bob Horry owns 2 of those rings in.
But he didn't make the shot. He didn't make the shot in the finals. He made the shot to keep him in the playoffs.
Okay, that's what it was. My bad.
Yeah, because in the finals it was always Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, he wasn't even getting the ball in the finals.
Nah.
Yeah, it was Kobe and Shaq show in the finals. He had to get them out of their own, get them out their own way against Sacramento that one year. Because that was the Kings had them on the ropes.
Oh, did they? That was the Kings' year.
They had them on the ropes.
Matter of fact, we haven't even talked about that. The Kings are number 3 seed in the West right now.
Yeah, they doing their thing. They playing some good ball right now.
I
think they'll be able to hold on too. I mean, maybe not to the 3 spot, but they'll be able to hold on to a playoff spot.
Who would have ever thought?
Shout out to Mike Brown.
They dope. They playing really good basketball.
Big shout out to Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Mike Brown's the coach there, right?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Uh-huh.
Good for him. Good for Mike Brown. I like that.
Yeah, he got the job. He got the job when they were still playing in the chip last year. It was a big thing. He's basically
he's a good coach.
He was a good coach in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That didn't get no credit because everybody said it was LeBron.
Yep.
And then when he came to LA, it was in a no-win situation. That wasn't the coach for the Lakers.
That's right.
He wasn't a coach for LA.
Well, I mean, he's been in the league for a very, very long time. So you can believe he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he knows his stuff for sure.
Matter just finding the right system, ownership, all that shit has a players to work your magic. People believe in your system. So
yeah, I agree. He came to LA and I forgot who was on that team that he coached, but it didn't work. And I think he won like 50 games too, but it wasn't enough.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to 10 p.m. It's been a great show.
Super Sunday.
Great show. I wanted to see the Biden address. I don't know if you guys been peeping at it all.
Nah, I haven't.
No. Goddamn, I want to see that. But we had to get into it, and my man's about to hop on in a few. So I'm gonna put some food in I'm actually heading to New York tomorrow. I'll be in New York from tomorrow to Sunday, doing some filming for the documentary 24 Hours of Peace, Real Hip Hop for the People.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
We were a week apart because I was there last Wednesday to Sunday.
Yeah, I saw the pictures too. Thank you.
Yeah. I sent them to you, right?
Yep. John is so good. Send him the clip. He knows John.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Send me some soca pictures.
Yeah, we was telling stories, and when I mixed the Aaron Rice's with the John Ahsoka's, the college and the high school, you mix the two together, it's always gonna be combustible out there with all the chatter. And someone told a story that I told. We had played in the Urban Professional League in New York, and John had played with us, and it was his first time playing some organized ball, and he made his first bucket, and I pulled out Scotty tissues and started tearing up because I said he scored a bucket in organized basketball.
How many fouls did he end up with?
I don't know, a lot, man. But he used to come over there. He used to come over there religiously across that bridge and make that trip because he was part of the team, boy. John liked that. He liked being part of a team.
Nice.
Yep. So I'm glad. I'll shoot you a picture, Kurt. Like Cliff. I'm saying Cliff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach E.
Yes, sir.
I need you to get your setup right. I don't know how you get down in your home, in your abode, but I need you to pull out your purple and gold, create the right environment, the right atmosphere, and watch my man go ahead and break this record. We're going to stop the game. I need you to get on live and congratulate my man, for getting that, that record.
I bought a jersey to burn it when it happens.
I believe you too. I that video, no doubt. Yeah.
Nah, I just hit you, Cliff. I just hit you just now.
Oh, okay.
I sent you 2 shots. He got you're gonna know who he is because he got the big P on his shirt to let you know he went to Penn. I said, you still doing that?
I'm starving too, so
good.
Brothers, it's been great. Next week, episode 97.
So about 11:30 tonight or so, it should be done. He should have it.
He ain't gonna get it tonight. He gonna get it Thursday. Watch. He gonna drop 25-point triple double tonight. Watch.
He's gonna drop 43 points.
Yes.
He scored 40 tonight.
It's the Thunder, man. How can you not score 36 against them?
He scored 40 tonight in LA.
I want to do it in LA. I don't want to be on the road doing it.
No, it's in LA tomorrow too.
I thought it was 40
it's
tonight.
It's Milwaukee in LA.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he does it tomorrow on TNT.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it ain't happening tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't happening tonight. Listen, not the social media genius. He's not doing it tonight. It's gonna be on TNT tomorrow.
They set up for
tonight is on TNT as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on TNT as well tonight?
Yeah. He's doing it tonight.
Oh, okay.
Do it tonight. I'm telling you, it's going down 43 points.
Oh, if it's on TV tonight, Cliff. If it's on TV tonight, I can't go with you.
Nobody wants to watch the Lakers back to back on TNT.
He wanna do it in that over 30-point arena. They say in LA, 36 points. He got it. He might get you 37. Just to go 1 point over to rub dirt in Kareem's eye. I got one more point to you right now. It's gonna get worse.
Now, if he was real petty, he would get it against the Bucks because Kareem played there as well. You know,
that's why he's gonna do it. I'm telling you why.
I don't know.
He ain't even gonna come close to 30 tonight. Maybe 20 for 25.
Then it looks fugazi if you don't.
And this way he can coast in Thursday's game.
We talk about the history and the record and what the historical narrative is, and Kareem.
The thing that kills me out of all the non-Laker fans, when I hear people tell me that LeBron might be the best Laker ever.
No, stop it.
Who's what? Huh?
Nah, chill.
Huh? Like they got LeBron like in that top, like I think 3 or 4 Lakers ever, and I'm sitting there saying, wait, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Jerry West, like James Worthy. He's not even ahead of Worthy as a Laker. Are you kidding me?
Scott, like, come on, stop it.
Elgin Baylor.
I mean, come on.
Yes. Stop.
There's too many. Too many. Gail Goodrich. There's too many Lakers. Wilt.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this.
Cavalier, he's the greatest.
Shaq.
I'm not even gonna say he's the greatest Heat player. Dwayne Wade's the greatest Miami Heat player ever.
LeBron's the best Cleveland Cavalier ever.
Cleveland Cavalier. Yeah, he's not.
Ever.
Yeah,
not even close.
He plays for LA, but he's not a Laker.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if he don't get it tonight, I think it's suspect. Because have y'all seen OKC roster? Who's guarding him tonight?
Dort.
Exactly.
I think Dort is actually hurt.
They have nobody to guard him.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
He should go for 40 just because. By halftime, Thunder are terrible.
Well, it's happening in the next 48 hours. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So listen,
we know that,
brothers. I'm hungry. So
yep.
I'm gonna piece it up. Get ready for episode 97 next week.
All right.
All right. Message chat.
All right.
Peace.
Have a good week, fellas.